Alright. Shalom Israel. Yahweh Hashem Yashab Thumb to all the brothers. Yahweh Shemal Thumb Hashem Yashai to all the sisters. I'm Priest and Officer 1000 RY. Alright. Today I'm gonna be going into a topic about Yahushai. You understand? The Christian church likes to promote that he comes for everybody. You know what I'm saying? That he loves everybody. That he died for everybody. Right? And I'm gonna make this a little bit of a series here. But today I'm going to be going into a specific scripture in Matthew, the 15th chapter, all right? And we're going to start around the 21st verse, okay? Because they like to push that, this whole, all love thing, Jesus Christ loves. And they have the image, that they like to push of Yahushai, well, the fake Yahushai, right? Seja Bourget. Hugging everybody and all, looking all like a damn hippie, and being soft as soft can be, okay? When you go into the Bible, it doesn't describe Jesus Christ like that at all, right? It says he's an austere man, right? And we're gonna show and prove, that all these lies, right? Like I brought out last time, that I hate every false way. Okay, so knowing that Jesus Christ is not soft, he is not in love with everybody. Okay, he doesn't care about everybody, right? He said, "I pray for them. I pray not for the world." Okay, so let's get into it. All right, let's break down this lie that the Christian church likes to bring out, saying that Jesus Christ loves everybody, that he has compassion towards everybody and mercy for everybody, and that he comes to save everybody. All right. So, in Matthew 15 and verse 21, it says, "Then Jesus," or Yahushai, right, in the Hebrew, "went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon, and behold, a woman of Canaan." Okay, so already the woman is not an Israelite, right? It says that she's a woman of Canaan, right? So we're gonna see here, right? If Christ loved every nation and he loved everybody as long as they believed on him, okay, then he should be showing compassion to this lady, trying to hear her out, trying to help her with her problem, okay? And let's find out if that's what he's doing, okay? So it says, "And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David." So she's crying to him for mercy, right? To have compassion on her, to help her, to show her some mercy. Let's find out what Yahushai did, right? "Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter," okay? So she's asking for help for her daughter, okay? Not only for her, but for her daughter. It says, "My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil." Verse 23, right? Verse 23, let's just hold on for a second. Because if Christ is all love, right? And he loved everybody and had compassion towards everybody and cared about everybody, so on and so on, then this verse shouldn't be in the Bible. All right? It says, "But he answered her not a word." He ignored her. He ignored this woman. Right now, that's not all love. That's not him having compassion. That's not being, that soft image of the Christian church likes to push. Of Christ loving everybody and him coming for everybody and wanting to hug every damn body. That's not what we're seeing here. Christ ignored this lady. When you ignore somebody, that means that you have no care for them at all whatsoever, right? When you ignore somebody, you're showing them that you don't care about them. Especially when they're asking for help. When they're sitting there crying in your face, asking you to show mercy and have compassion on them and help them, and all you do is ignore them, you're showing them that you don't care about them. Now you need to, like Captain Zariak says, let that sizzle in your spirit. Like, he's showing this lady who is in his face asking for mercy and compassion and help. He's just ignoring her, right? Now, reading on, it says, but he answered her not a word, and his disciples came. So, if Christ was teaching that we should love everybody, right? That if we should care about everybody and have compassion towards one another because we're all one human race. That's the funny thing, is that we're all one human race when it's convenient. You understand? When it's convenient for our oppressors and the enemies of our people, when it's convenient for them to say, oh, you know, why you gotta spew hate? Why you gotta teach hate? We're all one human race. Oh, now we're one human race. Right? Now when it's convenient for you, we're one human race. Well, if we're one human race, why can't we all be American? Why can't we all live in America without any type of so-called legal paperwork if we're all one human race? We're all one human race, but we're not all American. Okay, I mean, you're dumb. And when you think of that type of logic, right? You're showing that you don't care. You're just using words to make you seem like you're some kind of that you love everybody, when really you hate everybody. You hate everybody that's not you. You hate everybody that's not your race. Well, that's what Jesus Christ was doing. He had no care about anybody else that wasn't his nationality, his nation of people, his people. He had no care. Right? It's like when you see the so-called Mexican people crying in your face, when their daughters and sons are crying in your face to please let my mommy and daddy go. Please don't take them away from me. Please don't send them back to Mexico, right? They're begging for mercy, right? They're begging for help. And when you sit there in their face and you ignore that, you ignore it, what are you showing them? You're showing them you don't care about them. Oh, but we're all one human race, right? You're showing them that you have no care about what happens to them, what happens to their family, what's gonna become of them, right? A lot of them kids that get taken from their family, right? And their family gets deported, the kids get taken away, and only God knows what happens after that, right? Well, you show you don't care. And that's what Jesus Christ did right here to her daughter. He ignored her. And now if he's going and teaching, if he's teaching his disciples, right, that we should love everybody, right? That's what the Christian church likes to say, that Christ taught that we should love and that we shouldn't have no hate. We should love everybody, right? Well, let's see. Let's see if that's what he was teaching his disciples. Verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Oh, Salakia, I skipped up a verse. Verse 23. But he answered her not a word, and his disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away. So right there you see that she's going and crying to them. She's going and crying to them. Now that Yahushua, now that Jesus Christ ignored her, she goes and tries to plead to them. What does that remind you of when you see the kids? They're begging the one who's putting the handcuffs on their mom and their dad in front of them, right? At their school. They're begging the one who's putting the handcuffs on them to please let my daddy go. And that one ignores him. He keeps putting on the handcuffs. He keeps putting them on. What does a child then do? Right? The child then turns to the other ones. The other ICE officers that are there. Please tell him, let my parents go, please. Please tell him to take the handcuffs off my parents. What am I going to do without them? That's what this white woman is doing. I mean, this woman, Salaki. That's what this woman is doing. She's going, now that Yahushua ignored her, she's going to the disciples saying, please help. So, because of her crying, let's find out what they say. Do they stop and show her mercy and compassion and say, you know what? Let's try and help this woman. She's not of our nation, right? She's not of our nation. That's what all you people out here, all you oppressors out here like to say, right? You're not of this nation. Go back to your nation, right? This is not your country. Go back to your country. Well, that's what Yahushua is saying. You're not of my nation. Reading on. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she crieth after us. Because she's bugging us. She's bugging the hell out of us. Alright, what do you see? What do you see that same scenario, right? Just in a different, more modern day fashion. Right? When everybody, when the person is getting handcuffed, right? And the family members are around saying, please, please. What does the cop say? Get away or I'm gonna arrest you next. Right? So that's what this woman is doing. She's going to them, and now the disciples are telling Yahushua, Jesus Christ, send this woman away because she's crying. She's annoying the hell out of us. So right there you see that Jesus Christ wasn't preaching and teaching to his disciples, love everybody, have compassion to everybody, right? Because if he was, then he would have turned to them and said, why are you not doing what I'm teaching you? Love everybody, have compassion towards everybody. No. First, he showed them the example. He ignored her. So then when she came crying to them, they turned to him saying, Lord, send this woman away. She's getting on our nerves. Reading on. Verse 24, it says, but he answered and said, when he finally answers this woman, this is what he says to her. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He tells this woman, I'm not here for you. Right? Like in Matthew, right? When the angel comes to Joseph, he says, you will have a son, and he will come and save his people. His people. Yahushua knew his mission. Jesus Christ knew his mission. He knew he would come for the nation of Israel. He even said it out of his own mouth. He said, I am not here but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Alright? So if your Christian pastor is telling you that no, Jesus Christ came for everybody, he came to die for everybody, then what he's doing is he's calling Jesus Christ a liar. Because Jesus Christ said he is not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He's calling the angel that went to Joseph a liar. Because the angel told Joseph that he would come and save his people. Jesus Christ knew his mission, man. And let's read it. It says, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He knew what he was here for. He knew his mission. He's not here for you, he says. He tells this woman, I'm not here for you. I'm here for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. verse 25, it says, then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. So she keeps begging for help. Now, hold up. Because if Jesus Christ was all about love and compassion and loving everybody and having mercy on anybody who believes, right? Because she believes that he can help her. If not, she wouldn't be crying. So if whosoever meant anybody in the planet Earth, then she should be one that gets help, right? But whosoever means the nation of Israel. Whosoever from the nation of Israel believes on Jesus Christ. You're seeing right here a perfect example of someone who does believe Jesus Christ can help. Someone who does believe that Jesus Christ can save. But the only problem is she's not of the nation of Israel. So he does not answer her. And he tells her, I'm not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house. I'm not here to save you. Reading on. Verse 25. Then came she worship him, saying, Lord, help me. Verse 26. But he answered and said, it is not meat. Meat meaning good. Right? That's what the term meat means. M-E-E-T. Means good. It's not good to take the children's bread, right? The children of Israel, to take their bread, right? What is their bread? The blessings. To take the children's bread and cast it to the dogs. Now you have to sit back and like really hear that. He said it's not good to take the children's bread and to cast it to a dog. So she's there asking for help, and Yahushua calls her a dog. Not only does Yahushua call her a dog, but who is she there for? She's there for her daughter. She's there to get help for her daughter. Yahushua is calling her daughter a dog to her face. To the mother's face, she's calling Yahushua, she's calling her daughter a dog. And you want to sit here and tell me Christ is all love? He loves everybody? When he's calling this woman who's crying in his face, begging for mercy. And while she's begging for mercy, he calls her a dog and her daughter a dog? I think you Christian pastors don't know the Bible or Jesus Christ. Reading on. Verse 26 again, because I love it so much. But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. Now, he didn't say a dog. He said dogs with an S, meaning plural. You, your daughter, your people, anybody who is not of the children. Which children? The children of Israel. Anybody who is not of the children are just dogs to him. Alright, verse 27. And she said, truth, Lord. Now, what's the truth? What's the truth that she's agreeing to? She is agreeing and understanding that she is nothing but a dog. Her daughter, her people, compared to the nation of Israel, is nothing but a dog. And she said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. Now that's a beautiful thing. Because when you have a dog and you love the dog, you take a piece of your bread, right? You take food off your plate and you give it to your dog, right? You feed it to him if you love that dog. Now this is the heavy part. She said, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. When you don't care about a dog and you're eating, right? This is you eating. Now you have to picture the scenario. You're eating at a table. You're eating, and breadcrumbs just fall from you eating, right? And anybody has ever eaten a sandwich, right? Or any kind of bread. You take a bite, crumbs fall, right? And then here come the dogs, lick it up, right? That's not you giving it to the dog. That's just it falling, right? Because it's nothing to you. This is a crumb that means absolutely nothing to you. Now today, we see that scenario with our people taking the crumbs from this devil's nation, right? Food stamps. Hell, even a job. Trying to get over here. That's the most ridiculous thing I could ever think of. A job. Right? Because what do they like to say? Mexicans are coming over here stealing our jobs. Mexicans are coming over here stealing our jobs. A job is a damn crumb. A job is a crumb that your masters really don't care about, right? They just give you the crumb. Why? Because it helps them, right? They give you all these things because it helps them. They give women, Section 8, food stamps, all these things, right? Why? Because they have to get the man out the house. With the man out the house, they can destroy the family. They can go to the kids and destroy the kids, which means that the kids will grow up destroyed, which means they'll end up in their prison system, which in turn puts money in their pockets. So now you understand, right? Like, they'll let you lick up the crumbs because it, in the end, puts money in their pockets by you being destroyed, right? And a job is a crumb. So she's saying, truth, Lord. Yes, she is a dog. She's agreeing that, yes, Lord, I'm a dog. My daughter's a dog. My nation is a dog. But even the dogs eat from the crumbs that fall from their master's table, right? And we'll see one day again where these nations have to eat our crumbs that we give them, right? The little crumbs that we give them. And we'll be the masters at the table. Reading on, it says, and she said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. Alright, so verse 28, it says, then Jesus answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. What was the faith that she showed? It should be a faith that all Edomites, all oppressors should have. Knowing that you are a dog, that Jesus Christ is the King of Israel, and Black, Hispanic, and Native American people, the nation of Israel, the children of Israel, are your masters. And you should just bow down and eat of the crumbs that fall from our table. That should be your faith. All you so-called, well, we'll just say Edomites, oppressors, all you other nations, that's the faith y'all should have, knowing that Black, Hispanic, and Native American people are better than you. So don't ever let your Christian pastor tell you that Christ loves everybody, right? Christ came to die for everybody. When we see example right here, and once again, like I said, he said right here that it is not good for him to cast the bread of the children, right? I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. We just read it. I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So your Christian pastor says he's sent for everybody. What does that make your Christian pastor? A liar. That's why the Bible says, let God be true and every man a liar. Because we just read, and you could follow along, run this tape back, go to the scriptures, read them yourself, follow along. You can see that we just read that Christ said out of his own mouth, I am not sent but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So when your Christian pastor, when he says, oh, Christ came for everybody, call him a liar to his face. Alright? So, remember, all these other nations in the face of Black, Hispanic, and Native American people, all these other nations, always remember that. All these other nations are nothing but dogs to Jesus Christ. Should be to you too. Stop loving them. Stop giving all your love to them.